Welcome back. How would you like to make 10K in under 30 days? We're going to talk about how to create your group coaching program. So one of my clients was able to earn $9,500 in less than 2 weeks by selling her group coaching program. And honestly, it was a program that she hadn't actually created before. So we worked together inside of You've Got Clients in order to help her create this group coaching program. And she immediately started selling it before she had even created the content. So how did she do that? And how can you potentially earn 5 figures in less than 30 days by creating your own group coaching program? So I'm going to give you the 3 important C's, which is make it clear, sell it with confidence, and call in your clients. So how do we make it clear? The first thing that you have to do is make it clear what that transformation is. What is that client going to get as a result of working with you? What's the ultimate transformation? What's the outcome? When you're selling a coaching offer, it's important to understand that you're not necessarily just selling the phone calls, or you're not just selling the unlimited email access to you. You're actually selling the outcome, the thing that they are going to achieve, what they feel by the end of the coaching program. So you've got to get really, really clear on that transformation, and you have to also be able to communicate that transformation as well. Now, not only do you have to be clear on the transformation, but you also need to be clear on those other elements that they get. So are they getting videos? Are they getting worksheets? Are they getting group calls? Are they getting one-on-one calls? Are they going to be receiving a client folder so that you can connect with them? Do they get a project management dashboard? Like all of those individual items, you have to know what those items are so that you can clearly communicate what those are. So you've got to make it clear. That's step 1 in order to start selling your group coaching program. Now, I go over this a lot more in detail in my Package and Profit training. The Package and Profit training is a 4-part video series where I walk you through the mind of a high ticket buyer, helping you to figure out how to package your offer and then sell it. And if you'd like to get more information on that program, I'll leave the details in the description box. So that's the first step. The second step is to sell with confidence. So how do you sell with confidence? One of the first assignments that we do inside of You've Got Clients is a confidence booster assignment. And I'm not going to share the details with you because I share that with the clients who come into the program. But basically all we're doing is going through and listing out reasons that people should want to work with you, getting clear on your unique selling proposition and why someone should want to work with you over working with someone else. That way, when you're going into that sales call or when you're going into making that offer, you're really, really clear on, I'm confident that I can help you. I'm confident this is something for you, that you're the right person for this offer, and that I can help you get that transformation. Now, understanding that as a transformational coach, you can't necessarily guarantee results because you're not doing the work for them. They still have to show up and put in the effort. So unfortunately, you can't guarantee results, but you can be 100% confident that you can help them if they show up and if they put in the work. And so in order to sell that confidence, you have to be confident that this is the person that is right for what you offer and that what you are offering is just right for them. And that brings me to my third point, which is call out your ideal clients. So in order to call out your ideal clients, you have to speak very specifically and directly to the person that you want to work with, but you also have to disqualify all of the other people. So anyone who might not be a good fit for what you offer, or anyone who you know is definitely not a good fit, you've got to disqualify them. So for example, if you know that the people that you work with have to be able to take action quickly, they have to make fast decisions, then you just specifically say that I only work with people who take fast action and who make fast decisions. So that's something that's really, really important, is that you've got to call out your ideal clients. Now, the problem that I ran into was that when I first started my coaching business and I was first doing discovery calls, or sometimes people call them strategy sessions or breakthrough calls or whatever you want to call them, when I was first doing those calls, I didn't have a really good process to qualify my ideal clients, to really call them out. And so I was getting people on the phone that really weren't necessarily a good fit. They were either not the type of person that I wanted to work with, or they weren't at that specific level that they needed to be in order for me to help them get results. And so I started to get a little frustrated because call after call was like, no, 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 no. And it was not only me saying no, but sometimes them saying no because they couldn't clearly see how I could help them, because I wasn't even sure if I could help that person either. And so those calls where either I was like a clear no, or I was like, kind of, and they were maybe a no, like it started to get discouraging, just to be honest, right? So eventually I realized I need a better process to qualify my clients. And not only that, but I need to get really, really specific on the clients that I do help. And I started turning down more and more and more clients, calls that were coming into me. I was realizing that, hey, this is not exactly the right fit. Now, it wasn't until I created a sales presentation that allowed me to qualify my clients before they even got to the phone with me and before they even contacted me. That was when things really took off for me. So I created a sales presentation, also known as a webinar, and I went through what my exact process was. I went through and talked about the types of clients that I help get results and the types of people that I want to work with. And I also mentioned the people who are not a good fit for what I do. Now, this was all stuff that I used to do on a phone call. I used to have to do this on every single call, explain what I did, explain who I am and what my credibility is, explain my results, and then tell them this is for you if this, and this is not for you if this. And honestly, it started to get a little bit tiring. And it wasn't until I created a sales presentation that I started getting qualified calls and people coming on the phone who were that much easier to make the sale to, because they not only were right for what I did, but they had already qualified themselves by hopping on the phone with me. And then I started to get contacted from people who just kind of sent me messages and they were interested in working with me, and then we would just kind of lock up the sale via Messenger. And so it's possible to do that as well, but you've got to be really clear, you've got to be able to sell with confidence, and you've got to call out your ideal clients. My very favorite way to do this is by using a webinar. And if you need help with your webinar, or if you're not really sure how do I even get started with writing a webinar, then I would love to invite you to my free training. It's called You've Got Clients. During that training, I'm going to share with you my process and formula for writing a persuasive webinar. I'll also share with you how I'm able to get my clients results so that they're able to book coaching clients just from their webinar, and I'm able to do it for myself as well. And I'll show you how we get cheap webinar registration so that we make the ROI, return on investment, that much higher. In order to watch that training, all you have to do is click on the link. It'll be in the description box, or you can visit you'vegotclients.com/anti-webinar. I look forward to seeing you on the training. If you have any other questions before you get there, just leave them in the comments below. Happy to answer them, and we can continue the conversation that way. In the meantime, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.